been gaming for years, you already know. Not every great game needs to be new. Some titles age like fine wine. And 2025 feels like the perfect time to revisit the masterpieces that shaped the last decade of gaming. So today we're looking at 40 perfect games worth revisiting in 2025. There's still nothing quite like Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Even in 2025, its open-world stealth mechanics feel unmatched. Every mission is a sandbox of endless creativity. You can sneak, distract, or go full chaos, and the game rewards every approach. Its weather system, AI reactions, and tactical freedom were years ahead of their time. And while the story may feel incomplete, the experience of commanding Big Boss's army and building Mother Base remains as addictive and unforgettable as ever. Shadow of War perfected the fantasy power trip. Its nemesis system made every enemy personal. They remember you, they evolve, they taunt you. No battle ever feels the same. Mordor is alive with stories that form naturally as you conquer, betray, and dominate your enemies. It's more than just orcs and swords, it's a world that fights back. Revisiting it in 2025 reminds you how brilliant its design was and how few games have dared to replicate its magic. Mirror's Edge remains one of the most unique first-person experiences ever made. In a sea of shooters, it asked you to run, not kill. The world of blinding white rooftops and red trails still feels futuristic, its minimalist style never aging. The fluid parkour movement, the rhythm of jumps and rolls, and the purity of momentum make it a meditative experience. Even today, there's a strange peace in sprinting across its skyline, chasing freedom in a city obsessed with control. Few games mix philosophy and emotion like Nier Automata. It's more than an action RPG. It's a reflection on existence, purpose, and identity. The combat is fluid and stylish, but it's the haunting story and music that stay with you. Each character, from 2B to 9S, carries a sense of tragedy wrapped in beauty. Revisiting it in 2025 feels like rediscovering an art piece, layered, painful, and profound, a reminder that video games can be poetry in motion.
These machines are talking.
Yeah, I heard from the Resistance that they've been seeing this a lot lately. Couldn't tell you why, though.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps isn't just a platformer, it's an emotional masterpiece. Every frame looks painted by hand, every melody feels alive with meaning. The controls are precise, the movement graceful, and the world feels both magical and melancholic. It's a game about light, loss, and perseverance, and even now, few games achieve its emotional depth. Revisiting it is like stepping into a dream that hurts and heals at the same time. Portal 2 remains a masterclass in clever design and witty storytelling. Its puzzles are pure genius, teaching without ever holding your hand. The chemistry between Wheatley and GLaDOS delivers some of the funniest dialogue in gaming history. Every test chamber feels like a reward for thinking differently. Even after all these years, solving a Portal puzzle still makes you feel like a genius. In 2025, few games capture creativity and humor this effortlessly. It's timeless brilliance built from science and sarcasm.
And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
The 2008 Prince of Persia was misunderstood at release, but time has been kind to it. Its watercolor world, poetic tone, and fluid acrobatics feel refreshing today. The bond between the prince and Alika gives the story emotional weight, light, hopeful, yet melancholic. Unlike other action games, it wasn't about power but grace. Revisiting it now feels like opening a forgotten storybook, a journey of redemption and beauty told through rhythm, movement, and heart.
How did you... Whoa! I've got you.
Prototype was pure power fantasy, a wild, chaotic ride through destruction. Playing as Alex Mercer, you're part superhero, part monster, tearing through New York with unmatched ferocity. Running up skyscrapers, hijacking helicopters midair, or consuming enemies for power. It's violent, messy, but undeniably satisfying. Even in 2025, that sense of untamed freedom stands out. Prototype reminds us how thrilling games can be when they stop caring about limits and just let you unleash chaos.
Cat and Foxtrot. We nearly took that one. Stabilize.
Quantum Break dared to be different, blending a full TV show into its gameplay long before cinematic storytelling became the norm. Its time manipulation mechanics still feel ahead of their time, letting you freeze bullets or dash through combat like a living paradox. The visuals remain stunning, the performance is genuine, and the pacing tight. Revisiting it today feels like uncovering a piece of gaming's experimental golden age, ambitious, stylish, and uniquely unforgettable. Remember Me is one of those forgotten gems that deserved better. Its vision of Neo Paris is breathtaking, a cyberpunk dream painted with elegance. The memory remix sequences, where you alter the past to change the future, remain one of gaming's most inventive ideas. Its story of identity, loss, and rebellion still resonates deeply. Revisiting it now feels like waking from a long dream, one filled with style, emotion, and ideas that were truly ahead of their time. When Resident Evil 7 released, it redefined survival horror. Shifting to first person made everything intimate and terrifying. Every creak, every whisper in that decaying Louisiana house felt personal. The Baker family remains one of the most disturbing yet fascinating groups in gaming. Its tension never fades. Its atmosphere suffocates you in dread. Even in 2025, Resident Evil 7 still feels raw, a reminder that true horror isn't about monsters, it's about being trapped with the unknown.
Get out! Leave me alone! I'm gonna... I deserve this.
Ryse, Son of Rome might have divided players, but visually, it was a revolution. Every frame looked like a living painting. Armor glinting under torchlight, battles roaring with cinematic power. The story of Marius Titus, driven by honor and revenge, still feels grand and tragic. Its combat, while simple, is brutal and satisfying. Revisiting it in 2025, you can't help but admire its ambition. A game that wanted to make war beautiful and somehow succeeded. Few games test your patience, focus, and will like Sekiro. It's not about brute force, it's about mastery. Every duel is a dance of death, every parry a heartbeat away from disaster. Set in a haunting vision of Sengoku-era Japan, its precision-based combat makes every victory feel earned. Sekiro isn't forgiving, but it's honest. Returning to it in 2025 is like sharpening a blade, painful, humbling, and deeply rewarding once you finally conquer it. There are games you finish, and then there's Skyrim. You never really leave it. Even after a decade, its world still calls you back. From snowy peaks to glowing caves, from quiet villages to dragon-filled skies. The music, the freedom, the memories, all timeless. Mods have kept it alive, but it's the sense of adventure that keeps players returning. In 2025, Skyrim isn't nostalgia. It's a living legend that refuses to fade away. Sleeping Dogs is one of the best open-world crime games ever made. A blend of brutal combat, heartfelt story, and a beautifully realized Hong Kong. Playing as Wei Shen, an undercover cop caught between loyalty and duty, gives the narrative real emotional weight. The hand-to-hand combat is still some of the best in the genre, and the city's neon nights never lose their charm. In 2025, Sleeping Dogs still feels alive, a hidden gem that deserves far more recognition. Spec Ops, the line isn't about victory. It's about consequence. What starts as a simple rescue mission in Dubai unravels into a psychological descent few games dare to explore. It makes you question your actions, your choices, and even your role as a player. Every firefight feels heavy, every decision laced with guilt. Revisiting it in 2025 reminds us how bold storytelling can challenge not just our reflexes, but our conscience. It's haunting, brilliant, and unforgettable.
No, it's really not.
Few games capture the joy of movement like Marvel's Spiderman. Swinging through New York still feels magical, fluid, fast, and alive. But it's not just about web slinging, it's about the man behind the mask. Peter Parker's story is emotional, funny, and deeply human. The combat remains slick, the visuals stunning, and the pacing perfect. Revisiting it in 2025 feels like returning to your favorite comic. One that makes you smile, ache, and cheer every single time.
Now can we talk like human beings?
Pure energy. Sunset Overdrive is chaos painted in neon. It never takes itself seriously. And that's what makes it so good. Every grind, every explosion, every ridiculous weapon feels handcrafted for fun. It's part punk rock, part cartoon, part mayhem. In an era of serious open worlds, Sunset Overdrive reminds us that games can still be loud, dumb, and joyful. In 2025, revisiting it feels like drinking a can of pure electric nostalgia. The Evil Within 2 mastered the balance between psychological terror and human emotion. It's not just about monsters. It's about loss, obsession, and redemption. The open environments mix freedom with dread, making you explore even when you're afraid to. Every encounter feels deliberate, every scare earned. Returning to it now reminds us how survival horror can tell a deeply personal story while keeping your heart racing. It's unsettling, emotional, and absolutely worth revisiting. The Order, 1886, was ahead of its time. A cinematic vision that many misunderstood. Set in a gothic steampunk London, its visuals still rival modern games. The atmosphere, the weapons, the lore, all dripping with style. Sure, it's short, but every scene feels crafted with precision. Revisiting it in 2025 feels like opening a lost chapter of gaming's potential. A world that deserved more, and one that still leaves you wishing for a sequel. The Witcher 3 remains the gold standard for open-world storytelling. Its characters breathe, its choices matter, and its world feels ancient, alive, and heartbreakingly human. Every quest tells a story worth hearing. Every village whispers secrets. From the winds of Skellige to the sorrow of Velen, it's more than a fantasy. It's a journey through consequence and compassion. In 2025, The Witcher 3 still defines what it means for a game to have a soul.
Show me what you got.
Uncharted 4 was the perfect farewell to Nathan Drake. It's not just about treasure hunting, it's about closure, love, and letting go. The set pieces are breathtaking, but it's the quiet moments that linger, the brotherly banter, the moral weight of adventure. Even in 2025, its visuals, performances, and cinematic flow remain unmatched. Revisiting it feels like rewatching your favorite film, thrilling, emotional, and timelessly human. Few games capture despair as beautifully as A Plague Tale. Innocence. The bond between Amicia and Hugo turns a dark, plague-ridden world into a story of hope. The stealth is tense, the visuals hauntingly poetic, and the pacing deeply emotional. It's not about power, it's about survival and love. Returning to it now reminds us that quiet storytelling can be just as powerful as any blockbuster. It's fragile, heartfelt, and unforgettable.
No, keep moving. A monk. The other brother. We're going to have to climb up.
Before Assassin's Creed turned into sprawling RPGs, there was Black Flag, the golden age of piracy brought to life. The sea shanties, the naval battles, the endless ocean, pure adventure. It gave players freedom, danger, and beauty all at once. Sailing into a storm or boarding a ship still feels thrilling even now. In 2025, Black Flag remains the most joyful kind of rebellion. A reminder that the best journeys happen on open seas. Bayonetta 2 is chaos turned into choreography. Every combo, every dodge, every boss fight feels like an elegant performance wrapped in thunderous energy. It's stylish, wild, and unapologetically confident. A celebration of pure action design. The combat is razor sharp, the humor delightfully absurd, and the pace relentless. Even in 2025, no other game captures this mix of grace and insanity quite like Bayonetta 2. It's art, attitude, and adrenaline, all in one. After all its struggles, Cyberpunk 2077 has finally become what it was meant to be. Night City feels alive now, buzzing with stories, faces, and neon dreams. Beneath its flashy surface lies a deeply human story about identity, loss, and rebellion. The writing, the world building, and the atmosphere are unmatched. Revisiting it in 2025 feels like returning to a world that's finally complete. Beautiful, broken, and pulsing with digital soul. It's redemption through evolution. Days Gone is a slow burn that rewards patience. It's a world scarred by loss but filled with quiet humanity. You feel Deacon's loneliness on the open road, his pain and defiance beneath every word. The hordes are terrifying, the bike your lifeline, and the Oregon wilderness feels hauntingly real. Revisiting it in 2025 after updates and reflection reveals a game far deeper than critics once claimed. A story about loyalty, love, and the will to keep going. Few games give you freedom like Dishonored 2. Every level is a work of art, a clockwork maze of possibilities. Whether you play as Corvo or Emily, stealth feels like poetry in motion. The world of Karnaca is rich with atmosphere and moral complexity. Every kill or every act of mercy shapes your story. Revisiting it now, you're reminded that true mastery in design isn't about size. It's about depth, detail, and choice that matters.
Music boxes at each enclave. Here in the city, for instance.
Wait! What is it? No!
A decade and a half old.
Fallout 4 invites you into a world of ruin and rebirth. Its wasteland isn't empty. It's full of forgotten lives, moral questions, and stories buried in dust. Building settlements gives the apocalypse a strange sense of home, while the hunt for your lost child gives it heart. Even in 2025, wandering through Boston's broken streets feels endlessly rewarding. It's not just survival, it's hope crafted from the bones of a fallen world. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Far Cry 3 didn't just give us a great villain. It redefined the open world formula. Every fire, explosion, and takedown feels wild and spontaneous. But beneath the chaos lies a dark story of transformation, of losing yourself to violence. Revisiting it today reminds us how raw and daring it was for its time. It's tropical paradise turned psychological nightmare, and it still hits hard. God of War 2018 transformed Kratos from a symbol of rage into a story of redemption. The bond between father and son gives every battle emotional weight. Its single-shot presentation, breathtaking world, and mythic storytelling set a new standard for cinematic games. Every strike feels powerful, every silence meaningful. Revisiting it in 2025 isn't just replaying a masterpiece, it's re-experiencing a journey of growth, forgiveness, and legacy. It's the rare game that gets better with time. Hellblade is a haunting descent into the mind. Senua's journey through grief and psychosis is both terrifying and beautiful. The binaural sound design and raw performance make it feel deeply personal. You don't just play it, you feel it. Every whisper, every illusion blurs reality until you're unsure what's real. Revisiting it in 2025 reminds you that courage isn't about slaying monsters, it's facing the ones inside yourself.
Liar. An old fool. Truth is my truth.
It's good to see you again.
Hitman, Absolution refined the art of assassination into cinematic stealth. Agent 47 moves like a ghost through beautifully crafted levels, each one a puzzle of opportunity. Whether you're blending in or executing a flawless plan, the satisfaction is unmatched. The story gives 47 rare emotional depth, turning cold precision into something almost poetic. Revisiting it now feels like stepping back into an era when stealth games were crafted with style, patience, and purpose. Hogwarts Legacy is pure escapism, a love letter to the magic that shaped generations. Exploring the castle, discovering spells, and uncovering secrets make every moment feel alive with wonder. The world design captures that perfect balance of mystery and nostalgia. Even years later, walking through those halls or flying over the countryside still brings back childlike awe. In 2025, it remains a reminder that fantasy worlds only truly die when we stop believing in them.
This one makes a punch. Can't petrify us all, you know.
Accio! Confringo! Defender!
Yes, they want to buy up.
Horizon Zero Dawn gave us one of the most stunning post-apocalyptic visions ever imagined. Machines roam the wild, nature reclaims the earth, and Aloy stands as humanity's spark of hope. Its world is vast, its combat elegant, and its mystery endlessly fascinating. Revisiting it in 2025 feels like returning to a myth that still lives, a place where the future and the past collide beautifully. It's one of gaming's most graceful evolutions of storytelling and design. Infamous Second Son captured the thrill of superpowers better than almost any game of its time. Delsin Rowe's rebellious charm and neon-fueled abilities turned Seattle into your playground. The moral choices add depth. every action shapes how the world sees you. The game's freedom and style still feel ahead of their time. Revisiting it in 2025 reminds us how empowering it was to just move, glide, and explode through a city alive with energy and consequence. Rise of the Tomb Raider refined every element that made its predecessor shine. It's a perfect mix of exploration, survival, and cinematic storytelling. Lara's evolution continues beautifully here. She's vulnerable yet unbreakable. The snowy mountains, ancient tombs, and emotional drive create an atmosphere of discovery and determination. Revisiting it in 2025 still feels like an adventure worth taking. A reminder that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the will to keep climbing anyway.
Oh, no, no, no!
Inside is a quiet masterpiece, eerie, wordless, and unforgettable. It tells a story without dialogue, pulling you deeper through its oppressive world and haunting puzzles. Every shadow, every movement feels intentional. It's both beautiful and disturbing, a silent reflection on control and freedom. Revisiting it in 2025, you realize how rare it is for a game to say so much by saying nothing at all. It lingers in your mind long after the credits fade. Mad Max is desolation done right. A wasteland drenched in grit and silence. Its car combat is brutal and satisfying, its world hauntingly lonely, yet oddly peaceful. Every mile feels like survival, every scrap of fuel a victory. The stormy skies, rusted machines, and quiet ruins tell their own story. In 2025, revisiting it feels like returning to a forgotten frontier, a place where chaos and solitude collide under a burning sun. And finally, Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the greatest stories ever told in gaming. Its world is alive in every detail, the light, the sounds, the people, the silence. Arthur Morgan's journey is tragic, noble, and painfully human. It's not just a game, it's a meditation on loyalty, loss, and the fading spirit of freedom. In 2025, no matter how many games come and go, Red Dead Redemption 2 remains the benchmark of emotional storytelling and world building. These 40 games remind us that greatness isn't bound by release dates. Some worlds deserve to be revisited, not because they're perfect, but because they meant something. In 2025, maybe it's time to go back and remember why we started playing in the first place.